comes out, it just exposes all that underneath layers of all glacial silt. And that stuff is so fine, very angular. If you break the surface tension on it, it separates, and then it compacts even harder the second time. So a lot of people actually go out there and they end up getting stuck in that glacial silt, not realizing that it can kind of break apart. You can fall down into little air pockets or moisture pockets. Then the tide comes in at a 20 to 40 foot difference and you end up kind of drowning away. But it's a pretty common occurrence out there, people getting stuck in the glacial silt on the mud flats. So the little tip is to stay off the mud flats when you're in Alaska. It kind of acts as like wet concrete or like quicksand almost. You kind of see it, find one of those little moisture pockets down there and you really fall out into it. It's crazy to see all this layers and kind of the rough topography that's underneath the water out there too, because of all this silt. That's why you don't see any like large motor vessels or anything out there navigating that water. Is one, it's because of the abundance of silt, and then two, the extreme tide change. So you just got to time it just right if you do want to go out to those waters. The belugas though, they got it down. So they come in with that tide, go to the mouths of the river that push up like the salmon or the hooligan, the fish that run through, go to the mouth of the river, feed off the bottom, and as that tide's making its way back out, they just go back out with the tide. And they go out towards the Gulf of Alaska area and just kind of follow back in and just go in and out every 12 hours. And the reason they come into the Turnagain Arm is one is because they have access to their food source. And then two is because it's really shallow out there, so they can get away from the larger prey on them. And then they feel comfortable to have their babes out here. And then while they're nursing, they have all that nutrients that they can feed on and not just get sucked dry for nutrients out here. So the Cook Inlet belugas that typically spend time within the Turnagain Arm, Cook Inlet, and the Gulf of Alaska, they're actually a year-round population, so they don't migrate down south like a lot of the other larger whales do. And our year-round population is roughly about 250, and it's increasing too. They should be doing a beluga count this year, and then we'll get a more updated number. But last year was roughly about 250.
Name this body of water again.
Turnagain Arm.
Spell Turnagain.
Turagain.
Like, do it again.
Like turn again.
Turn again.
So there was someone named Captain Cook. He was a British explorer. A lot of people probably heard of him before. Roughly around what would be like 1776 to 1779. So he would have been here roughly like 78-ish, 77, 78. But he came into the body of water trying to find the Northward Passage. And so he realized that it came to a dead end. So they turned around and said, hey, we'll name it the Turnagain Arm. And then the inlet after Captain Cook, the Cook Inlet. So that's kind of why we get the Turnagain name and then the Captain Cook name, the Cook Inlet name, excuse me. But imagine, navigating the waters with such minimal technology during that time. It's pretty crazy to think about these big old vessels out here. And the Turnagain Arm connects to that Cook Inlet. And then there's a northern arm, the Knik Arm. And then, let's see, there's something out there. And then that all feeds out to the Gulf of Alaska, which is just right on the back side of the mountain range, Shorey, inside the Kenai Mountains. So if you've heard of the towns like Kenai, Soldotna, Nikitzki, Homer, or even Hope, is just right across that waterway on the back side of that mountain range area. But to drive there, you got to go all the way down the side of the Turnagain Arm, cross at the end, go back up onto the Kenai Peninsula, and then make your way all the way back down the back range. That's why flying out here is really, really popular, just because you can save so much time on flying there in roughly about 25, 30 minutes, whereas the drive time is anywhere from 3.5 to 4 hours down there. And then you can access so many little spots and so many different spots out here too, in a small little jumbo plane compared to just using system. Like for an example, the Chugach National Forest, I said it was roughly about 5.5 million acres. Well, there's only about 80 miles of road throughout those 5.5 million acres. So it's just kind of open, vast land. If you do want to access it, it's kind of backcountry, rural access. And that's what a lot of the state of Alaska is a lot of rural access. Because the road system out here is very minimal. We have one road that goes down south, which is the Seward Highway, and then it branches off and goes out towards Kenai. And then you have one road that goes north out of Anchorage, Bridge as well. And then that branches out into the Parks Highway and the Glen Highway. Other than that, there's no alternative routes out here. So you just got the one way going south and the one way going north, and the one way going east. Again, that's why it's so many people flat way, just because you can save so much time and you can access so many different spots. Like some of these areas that you have to access, you have to run a river system, so you have to take a little dinghy or like a john boat just to get out there. Or in the winter time, you have to wait for the rivers to freeze over, so you can go out on like a sun machine or a four-wheeler or a side-by-side to access some of the small areas. This little Indian Valley gold mine is pretty cool right there to the left. So that is an original gold mine settlement out here. Roughly had about 35 feet of a mine shaft that went down towards the Trinity Arm area. But when they came through, they constructed the railway. Pretty much went right through the middle of the mine shaft. But what the rail workers did is they actually moved his original homestead and his shop up onto the hillside there. And so now it's just kind of a historical homestead, gold mine museum that you can go and check out. And it's been passed down through their family. I think they're like third generation now, still owning and operating Indian Valley Gold Mine. But if you want to strike rich, you can go to Indian Valley Gold Mine. They're still doing like some gold pan and stuff up there, old cemetery. And then this is Indian right here, so don't blink or you'll miss it. You got your restaurant, you got your bar, you got your shop, and your church. That's the town of Indian, just right here. That's what classifies a Alaska town. But no, you got quite a bit of a community in that back valley area up and to our left. This is kind of just the front of a small little town. Well, once you get out of a lot of hiking out here, a lot of trail systems just throughout the Chugach State Park and the Chugach National Forest. I mean, just in the municipality of Anchorage, we're roughly at about 135 miles of multi-use trails that you can access, wintertime, summertime, whenever you feel the need to go out there. Cross-country skiing, fat-tire biking. And then we're going to come down here in a minute. We're going to cross over a little bridge. And we're going to see Bird Creek.